There is this consistency that I've noticed over time. It's now become a pattern of how people tend to trust people because of the kind of lifestyle they live. They feel if you live expensive lifestyle, you're worthy to give money. But that has been the reason why a lot of people have been scammed. There's this Red King guy, and a lot of people fell victims to him because he was always posting from a church, or there's this charade they do with both religion because they know people are easily enticed by all of that. Same as that of Sujimoto, the saga of Sujimoto, because people feel this kind of caliber of person would not be able to do such a thing. But the truth is, aside the fact that I'm a very curious person and I ask questions to know how viable any business is before I invest my money, I feel that real estate in general is an overpriced venture. And here is why. You see, in order to know the success of every business, you need to know the customer base. It's that simple. For any business to succeed, you need to understand the customer base. We all know that civil servants barely earn minimum wage, or even if they're paying them the minimum wage, that cannot affect most of the real estate in Nigeria. So if you look at it critically, with the hundreds of millions that people are calling in real estate, you would need to ask yourself, how is a civil servant going to afford that? Aside the civil servant, how many people are going to be able to afford this real estate? You understand? It's not like one person is going to buy 200 houses. What do you want to use and do? Which people won't go to live for the house, and what is their salary? You would have to use the statistics of unemployment in the country. You would compare and contrast to know that this venture is not viable. Yes, now companies are folding up in the country. The civil servants are not paid enough. The private sector are more or less slaves. So who is affording those real estate? So that is one of the reasons why when you look at it critically, you would know that it is an avenue for money laundering, which is something that is all known. But then, as an investor going into real estate, you that has 50 million or 30 million, can you afford a house of 150 million? And mind you, somebody who has 50 million in Nigeria is considered somebody that is beyond the middle class. You're very big, now you get money. You need to check the statistics of the number of people who have over 500,000 in their account to be able to understand how privileged you are as somebody who has 50 million and or above. So when you look at it, how many of us or how many people do we get that kind of amount of money, and how many people they willing to buy real estate? So when you look at these things, you know that this thing will give you returns as they promise. So it's almost impossible. So that is why a lot of people who have gone into real estate are regretting. But there's a better option: agriculture. Agriculture now on annual basis. If you want, say, Makai, they pay you 10 million or 20 million annually. 20 million annually. Just drop 70 million in this my business, in this supply, and I'll pay you 20 million on annual basis. No be shoot bird mama fly. 70 million, out of which would get a truck, would buy a truck around 25-30 million. Then what is left, around 40 million, would use it to saturate the market, all the village market. On an annual basis, your capital untouched, as your capital is down, will be paying you dividend of 20 million on annual basis. That is, your 70 million is with us. I will be paying you 20 million every year. 20 million. So that is the deal we're giving from cassava supply. our business is viable. We all know how viable agriculture is. I'm not going to give an epistle. So if you're interested and you have that amount of money, I would make a lot of videos, because once the rain starts, we'll start uploading a lot of videos, and then you would see. And if you had not invested that time, you would, I wish I had done. A lot of people who last year, we not even answer them this year, because we've gone beyond that. So that is how we're going to be moving forward. You understand? Agriculture is a venture that can never go out of business. I assure you that.